As promised, I would say that I would review some Black Sabbath, and yeah, I figured why not? We start off with the album that I'm most familiar with, or this will probably be the only Black Sabbath album I review, so keep that in mind. Because one, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I mean, I do like them to an extent, but they're one of my least favorites of my favorite of the classics, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like them as much as other names like Iron Maiden or Metallica or even Megadeth. But I still do respect Black Sabbath because, for one, they're one of the forefathers and one of the pioneers of the metal genre. So yeah, this here, we'll be taking a look at Black Sabbath, Paranoid. This is it. I'll let you see the album cover real quick. Some stuff that it comes with. It's pretty cool. So this album was technically the first Black Sabbath album I've ever heard. Technically, the first Black Sabbath material I've ever heard was from We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll, the compilation album. But that doesn't count because it's just not really a studio album. But this was like the first album I've ever heard from Black Sabbath. And do I like it? Yeah, I think it's a pretty darn good album. Is it my favorite? Probably not. I still think my favorite album from Black Sabbath is Master of Reality. That's just my opinion, though. Yeah, this album came out in... Well, this album, Paranoid, came out in 1970. Actually, the same year that their debut came out. This is their second album. That's crazy, right? Their debut and their sophomore album come out on the same year. If only that were to happen with bands today, we wouldn't have to wait so long. But I know a lot of bands did it back in the day. I believe the Beatles did it too. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. But yeah, there's some really good tracks on here, some solid ones. War Pigs is an excellent album opener. It's got brilliant riffs, and Ozzy really does know what he's doing, when it comes to vocals. It's not a bad song, though. Paranoid is another good one. It's a fan favorite. Fast pace, guitar riffs and stuff like that. And it's just a really fast song. It's like a song that you just want to listen to while you're driving, pretty much. It's perfect for that. And yeah, it's just a great song all around. It's one of my favorites for sure. The title track, Paranoid. Planet Caravan. When I first heard this song, I really didn't like it. Kind of gave me a weird vibe, but I think that's kind of the purpose of it. It's a really weird song. You really have to give it a few listens in order to appreciate it more. You really have to listen to it over a minute to really like it. I know that happened with me. Maybe some people still don't like it. Oh well. Iron Man, of course. This was the first Black Sabbath song I've ever heard. Even people who aren't even Black Sabbath fans or even fans of rock or metal in general, they know about this song, Iron Man. I mean, everybody knows it. The riffs, really creative riffs. Everybody knows the riff in that song. Everything about this song is pretty good. Although I think the nostalgia kind of makes me frown upon it a little bit. Yeah, that's cool, but it's kind of edgy. Or, kind of like that angsty type stage that, people like myself had when listening to that song because of those riffs, But it still is a good song on its own. Yeah, what can I say about it? It's just great. Electric Funeral's good. Hand of Doom is one of my other favorites. Rat Salad, I believe that's an instrumental. I've only listened to that one once. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I believe it is. Fairies Wear Boots, I believe, is a fan favorite. This is the closing track. And yeah, it's a pretty good closer. So yeah, it's a pretty short album, I guess. It's like 8 tracks, but the tracks are reasonably long to go album length. And yeah, I do think this is a good album overall. I'm gonna have to give it like a 7 out of 10. And I know some people might have it 10 out of 10 because this was like the album that started it all for metal and everything. Well, not really, not counting their debut. But yeah, I usually don't rate albums based on facts. I really base albums on how they sound, I guess. And regardless if this was one of the, the albums that lit the path for all the other bands to come, it does lack some things. I feel like, especially in the second half of this album, it just blends together too easily, I think. But they're all good songs, I gotta say, so I'm gonna have to give it like a strong 7. So, yeah, definitely, it's a good album overall. I do come to it sometimes. I'm not really the hugest Black Sabbath fan, but I do like some of their music. The only albums I have from them are this one, Paranoid, and Master of Reality, which is, like I said, my favorite. So yeah, Black Sabbath, Paranoid, I like it. It's pretty good. I know Black Sabbath recently went on their last tour, so yeah, figured celebrate by reviewing Paranoid by Black Sabbath. I do recommend this album for starters too, because it was my first as well. So what did you guys think of this album? Let me know. Well, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're not already, and thank you for watching. Take care.